Good people. Happy Sunday, everybody. It's Sunday. The Sunday Scratch 0254. We're live. And today, man, I got some young dudes, man, from Langata. Man, they've done some amazing things. So with no further ado, I'm gonna bring them on here, man. We're gonna have this conversation. What's up, fellas?
Easy. You're good?
Hello.
Oh, good. Man, Kevin is playing hide and seek. Well, Kevin is going. Well, I can join at Tupata too. Man, happy Sunday, man. Thanks you for taking your time. Jiggy, what's good, man?
Yo,
How you
easy.
doing, sir?
No buyer. All's good.
Yeah,
Thank you for having us.
man, I appreciate you guys making your time. Soki, you're on mute, man.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm really happy for you to be able to have us at this time. I know we're gonna talk a lot,
Yeah,
basketball and all other stuff. Yeah.
there's a lot of conversation here, man. Kevin, I don't know what we're gonna do with Kevin, man. I know he's Kitale Gulanoma. Yeah, I think he disappeared. But we're just gonna start with you, Jiggy. Like, just give us a brief history about where you played basketball, what you're doing, what you've been doing with basketball and all that, man.
Uh, Bit of a history there. Jiggy, for some who know me, I played KU, I played Lifeboy, played Don Bosco. I've also played out Kidogo, but that was just for leisure. I'm here because I think it's very vital for us to give back. It's very important. People don't know what basketball has done for them, or rather, the younger ones don't even know what basketball can do for them. I'll speak even for myself. The relations that I have, the very good friends that I have, true friends that I have, and the connections that I've had in my life have really helped, and all for the love of basketball. Um, so here we're here to talk about the Langata court. Obviously, for me, it's an opportunity for kids to try something. Kids have talent. Kids have will and strength, and I think those are among the most important things in life. For me, kijana akiweka effort, atadema akiweka effort. I mean, what's stopping you? So mine is brief. I played kidogo kidogo. Nikisema miaka, kuna watu hapo watazima podcast. So what
Na
you
Kevin hawezi ongea ukisema miaka kitabike.
nikisema nishawaambia kuna walitoka kwa court nikisema miaka. 93 I played in Division 1. Wacha niseme hivyo.
Wow. Hey, sawa. Soki, let's go to you, man.
I'm good. I don't have a deep history like Jiggy, but I do believe for even the new cats watching this thing, they'll probably say that I have a deep history. So my basketball journey started in Langata, whereby my first time to play in the league was about 2004 in the NBA league. We did have a team from Langata called Langata Crusaders. We were able to get into Division 1, but because of finances and also the talent that was in the team, whereby some players are being poached, going to other teams. So the team just died a natural death and they disbanded after that. So I can remember after that, I kind of took a break because I joined campus. And then coming back after campus, um, I can remember I played in one of your teams, Friends of Basketball. If you can do remember PK, you are the coach over there. But I didn't play any game because at that time I was balancing in between school and whatever. And I think you really didn't know which position I was playing at that time. Then after that, after clearing campus, I joined Blazers. The one Blazers, played there for a single season. After that, I joined Cooperative Bank, which I believe till to date is the best team that has ever been assembled in Eastern Central Africa. I had my successful time over there, and
We might challenge them. We might challenge them, man.
yeah, yeah. So after leaving Cope, I did join USIU. USIU, I played for a few seasons. Then I decided to take another break. Then currently, right now, I'm playing for Nairobi City Thunder. Yeah.
Let's go to Kevin Tuck, man. What's up?
So how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. A few challenges here and there, but all good. I'm the young in here. I think I have a quarter experience of what jig years. So basically, I started playing basketball in 2007. I was in around Form 2, but my high school nobody knows because I was nowhere. I was in the middle of nowhere. I got a chance to really get to know basketball when I joined Langata in 2012. I was nurtured by some amazing humans I met over there. Got my first chance to play the league in 2015. I jumped straight to the league with Thunder,
Man.
and that's how guys have known me. So currently, I left Thunder for Equity, who are my current employers. We just got booted out by KPI a few days ago, so we talk about something else.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. We ain't here about talking that today. Today we are talking about a great thing you guys have done. And so let me start. So why did you guys think, and actually before we jump into this conversation, let me just show them, let me just put a picture up here so that we can have a reference point of what we're talking. That's the court we are talking about then. That's the court we are talking about then. And this is the court now, how it looks now. Why did you guys think it was very important for you guys to do something like that, to join forces together and build and just refurbish the basketball court? Yeah, anybody can jump in. Jiggy, well.
Yeah, I don't know if I could start there, but for me, the idea started with I think the facilities that we play under. The only court, kusema tu kweli, that everybody used to look forward to was going to play Nyayo. Yeah, and even Nyayo is not the best. The rims, it rains, ikona vitu tudogo. Let's call it like it is. But the floor in Nyayo, yes, tudogo. But when you go back to play Mtaani, the courts that we played, I trained at Railways. I trained in a few other places. The floors are not something to talk about, and I think facilities are a problem. Kids do want to play. Kids want to try and play. So we just started making noise about it, and we started making noise in Langata amongst ourselves. Like, hey guys, we can do better. We can do better. We can do better. The backboard is still the same, but then no matter, even if the floor is good now, the backboard is still the same. The hoop is, for people who know, Sok loves that hoop because it's tiny. That's how it works. It's short. But we could do better. I think there are limitations, and none of us figured that it would end up like this. Nobody thought it would end up like this. It's looking really good. I haven't played on it, but these guys have. They'll say on their turn. But it's attracting. The main point for me is that it's attracting younger kids to come and try something. Yeah. So anything that will attract them. So the more we achieve this, the better for us. There's a team that was started in Langata the same time when we were having this conversation, and they're playing in the CL League, yeah, the Kayole League. And now we're even in conversations of, hey, let's have some of the games in Langata, right? and we figure out the modalities. How do we maintain the court? How do we do the small little things? That's the conversation that is being had. And for me, I'm thinking, look, not only is the flow good, but we can actually have some competition there, which means we'll have some fans. And out of those fans, I'm sorry, if out of 100 fans, one of the kids who watches it starts playing, box has been ticked. For me, that's the drive. And I think this can be done in other places. So when we had this conversation, the guy is called Wako. The company is called Wako, who was he's been doing his own things on his own biasharas. And he came and found us in this conversation. So Kevo will give more conversation because he was the first contact on that. And he is very interested in doing this in other communities, in community courts, right? At a cost that doesn't have the markup of the hoteliers, the 5 million, as you said, yeah. And it's a conversation that I think needs to be had. So I'm glad, Kiggs, that we can have this conversation, because facilities are, let's call it like it is. Let's call it. In Diwopa have really tried. They've really taken a step forward to bring the game back home. The guys in Kayole, when there are games there, yeah, there are guys outside the church who are just watching. And that way, you pick up a kid who would have been gotten into anything on the streets. Yes. I wish one of them would have been on the call, and I hope you have that call with them. And then get to your Jeshi, then in a few years, and we've had them. We have friends who've gone that route. And then you hear, oh, Flani was dropped.
I know.
And it's a sad thing. So over to the other, for me, it's that kid.
But,
yeah. So, or it's a word.
Yeah, let's jump to Kev, because Kev, I know he's the one who was, I think, in contact with the guy. So Kevin, feel out how the conversation went, and like what was your drive to really try and bring this court, refurbish this court?
Okay, the first contact, I'll say it was by chance. Nilo naendanga mahali alafu nakutana na mtu kumbe you both have the same interest. Ilikuwa pick-up game. During the off-season, actually how it started, for me, I got hurt, I got an Achilles injury. So the main person who was helping me rehabilitate was Griffin. We were training with him, strengthening of the leg on down court. And then let me call him the president of Wako company, because now he's a president to me. Happened to be passing by, and he, out of curiosity, he stopped the car and asked, how is this court? So I was the person who was called first to go and talk to him, and he basically asked if there is anything he can do to help the court, because he's a member of the Langata community. And Jiggy had replaced the boards, so he was the first person I gave Wako the contact, because he had already some done renovations, and that's how the conversation picked up. I didn't follow up much because I came to follow up later when the project had already started. The main aim to rehabilitate the court for me, I'll say, I've gotten my whole life there, because I started playing with the guy and Aleu and the Thunder guys on the court. So when the 2015 season, Nairobi City Thunder had a walkout of many players, so they didn't have so many guys. So in the recruitment process, they asked me to join them by chance, and then the chance became a miracle for me. I'll say after the first season, the head coach was able to hook me up with work, and after 2 seasons, I got employment in Equity courtesy of basketball. So it saved me a lot of hassle. I could say I never tarmacked. I walked from graduation straight to work, and all that is because of basketball. And the guys I met on the court, they were able to do something for me, because they believe in talent, but I would say it's not only talent, because when I came there, I was actually very raw. I didn't know anything. So I was actually nurtured to be a good basketballer at the court. So that's how doors opened up for me, and I'm somewhere I can say I'm independent, and all that is because of basketball, and it all started at the Langata basketball court. So my motivation for me is like maybe there should be like 40 of us coming from Langata basketball who can play in the league and get something out of their life because of basketball. If we getting guys graduating and getting jobs directly like I did, it will be a big benefit for them because I've seen guys stomach, most even the guys who graduated in 2015 are still looking for employment until now because they haven't been able to find work. So that's just a brief of.
Man, that's a testament right there. When people are complaining about sports don't pay, sports don't do this, there's people who are harnessing opportunity and just running with it. Again, kudos to you, Kevin, for the hard work. I know it's not easy, but I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not by any chance diminishing what you have done, but I'm saying like when you're in sports, sports helps you make relationship, bridge gaps. You never know who you might run into. You never know who you might run into. Yeah, let's go to Mr. Soki, man. See, you're a little young one. They should be on TV.
Oh man,
She used to
I'm
be
100% sure I'd put this little young one in bed. Uh, I'm a father of two. I have twins, and this is one of the set of twins. Yeah. So, like for me, all about this Langata basketball court. That's the first court that I stepped foot in, and that goes way back in around 1991 or 92, because my older brothers used to play in that basketball court. So I can remember some time back in around 2008, we had thought about trying to make the basketball court a little bit better. But at that time, we were a bunch of many guys. Like the problem is that it was only about one or two guys who were only working. Okay. So it was like about two guys were only working. And at that time, we had tried to set about 500 shillings each and every month. We see whereby these funds where it can be able to take us. But unfortunately, it just reached a point, with guys who are students, 500 shillings 13, 15 years ago it was a crazy amount for one to be able to raise up. So when this opportunity was brought forward, like, you know what, we can be able to build this court if we can be able to raise these funds. And at that time, my two little kids were born. For me, it was my dream to be that my kids, the first basketball court that they'll set foot in will be that court in Langata. But for me, I was like, you know what? Whatever court that they need to step in, it shouldn't be the same the way my brothers found it, the way I found it. It should be in a much better state. And for me, that's the thing that really motivated me in terms of getting guys to be able to push for this thing, like to build a court, because it's just part of life. You always want to be better, as in the living conditions that one is in, you really want to have a better living condition. And for us, we saw that this will be the time for us to do it. Yeah.
And I think the biggest question for me, for you guys, I've tried approaching different people, to build a court, or even if you talk to some different people, like, why is it not possible to build a court? Hey, a quotation, man. It's 4 million, 5 million. It's so hard to start. It's so hard to start even to build that court. What was your process like? Where did you start? Did you have a plan? Like, what was your plan? Like, how are you? Like, did you take the whole thing and worry about the whole thing, or did you just say, tuchimbe foundation kwanza, tufanye hivi? Like, was it segmented, and what approach did you use to get to where you are today?
Maybe I'll go. We were very lucky. We were lucky that this guy, for him, his interest was to two things. he was establishing himself because this is his own company. He's making his own produce. He's making his own material. Okay, so this was for him a stage to show what he can do. Okay, the first time we did it twice. So the first time we did it, I think we either rushed it a bit too much, yeah, and there was rubber, but it wore out quickly. And what he told me is, give me some time, I'll come back. And his main approach, which suited us perfectly, was that for him, he wants to do this in community courts, and doesn't put the markup, which means he will only charge you for the material. Let's talk now details, because I think this is what people want to.
Oh, no doubt,
so
yes.
For him, he'll give you, he wants to give you the costs of the materials, yeah. So the owners of the court being the community, so nyinyi mtajipanga and raise the money for the materials. Now, when you do that and you remove out the markup and the labor and everything else, you know what happens? That cost reduces from 5 million to something a bit more manageable.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Yeah. So for us, what we wanted was the flow. But you see, when you get your costs, you'll get a cost with bleachers, you'll get a cost with lights, you get get with the bare minimum.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So,
let's figure those out when they come, right?
Yes.
But the first calculation, and it worked very well with this guy. He's called Chalo of Wako. What Chalo did was he said, look, and we raised funds, we raised money in Langata, and the way we raised money was like Kevo organized a tournament, yeah, and he called guys that he plays with in the Premier League, right? And we called a few other people here and we participated, and it was a lively tournament. And we said, for this particular instance, and guys, also coincidentally, I don't know if I can I say this on air? During COVID time, kulikuwa na scratcho. Vitasema. Kulikuwa na scratcho.
Kipindi was scratch. What was scratch?
It was on Saturday. It was on Saturday at 11. Mabuda versus akina Kevo. Na tulikuwa tunawafunga. I'll say that openly. So what it did, it created it created an audience. Yes. Okay, so which helped us to organize a small tournament. We called in a few teams, guys came and played, and guys paid to play in that tournament. And that raised some funds, which for us at the initial stage, we were able to put some money down for the materials. Okay. And yes, because like now on my team, the Warriors that we started at the same time, those kids are also looking for jobs. So what did this guy do? He said, you know what, I need labor. Yeah, I'll pay them labor. It becomes a community project.
Yes.
So when he came back now, later, when he had gotten his materials okay, and he told us, I need this court closed for a month if you guys want this done. So we just said, you know what, guys, funga court. So we tried to concentrate on other things. But the point is, if you break it down in bits, in fact, initially we had even thought, and to answer your first question, Kiggs, we got quotations. We asked. There's a guy who is in our group. He's called Sudi. Sudi's an engineer. Yes. He plays basketball. Yeah. Sudi gave us some costs. Akasema hapa mkitaka kabro, mkitaka hii, and we had sort of an idea. And even we had thought, okay, how about we start with a half court? We had even thought of this kind of things. Let's raise some funds. Let's put in some cash. We see what we can do. And mainly targeting the older group. We had thought of going back to Akina Lopo, Akina Nani,
Fidel,
Akina Fidel, go back to them and say, guys, let's put in something, Let's put in something that can bring some benefits. But as we were talking about this and we're gaining traction, coincidentally, this guy met with Kevo and then it was referred. The point that I'd like to say is you have to start something. Start something purposely. If you start something purposefully, then things sort of align. Kevo Sok.
Atakani kupaka lines, hizo line tu rangi. Hizo lines za court.
Hata kama ni hiyo, anza kitu. Usikae kaa tu hapo unasema court ni mbaya, You're just complaining, You're busy complaining and you're doing nothing.
Yes,
you're winning ball, or doing net. You're just come on.
go ahead.
No.
Yeah.
I was just hearing what Jiggy was saying and the way guys were able to come through together. You know, in about 2012, when we were entering 2013, and 2013 was an election year. So I can remember we met with the guy who happened to be the MP at that time for Langata. I mean, he was aspiring to be the MP because the constitution had changed and all that. So this guy came in as the MP in 2013. And at that time, we really had a good discussion with him and even his representatives about where we wanted the basketball court to be. And he had even promised us about even having a basketball team because Langata in the 90s used to have crazy ballers. Even in 2000s, I'm not saying that they are not there anymore, but it used to be.
Apart from Kevin, who you got? Apart from Kevin.
There are some young talks coming through. Jiggy's son is a killer. He's a sniper. Yeah. So I can remember this guy, we told him, like, you know what, there used to be a basketball team in the early 2000s called Sadili, which I think Jiggy was also part of that team. And it was the first team from Langata. Then there was Langata Crusaders. So we told him, like, you know what, our dream is to have another team in the league from Langata. And our demands were not a lot. Our demands was just for them, like for him to be able to make the basketball court, and the rest will take care of itself. You know, he told us if he does win, he'll guarantee us for that. So he did win the election. Yo, PK, I can tell you for free.
Tricks.
We went, yes, we
Politics.
went to his office. We camped at his office. The first day I can remember we went and the guy didn't show up. So we are told, like, you guys need to come back after 3 days or so. So I can remember after 3 days we were over there early in the morning, or something like 7:30. The dude shows up at around 12:30. So we saw him, he passed us, he greeted the secretary and he walked right inside the office. Imefika 1:30, 2 o'clock. We are asking the secretary, can we be able to see this guy? Then the secretary goes into the office, comes back. You know what he tells us? That he had already gone. It's like there's a birthday or something over there. Yes. So we are like, you know what? The writing is on the wall. This guy is not going to do anything for us. If we keep on relying on this guy, as in, it's just going to be falls, whatever. I don't know how I can be able to put it. So when this opportunity brought up itself, like us, the guys who use the court, deciding on like removing funds, and if there's something that Jiggy has kept, it's I can remember we had started an initiative, and Kevin can be like he can back it up. We say that if you are employed, please give a minimum of 1,000 monthly, 1,000. And then if you're not employed, if you're in school or whatever, anything that you can be able to bring, it will go a long way. And it's something that, you know, I'll tell you for sure, it was really hard at first, and Kevin can be able to tell you this in terms of funds coming in. But, you know, if you really want change, Kiganya, uta sacrifice. You'll say that, you know what, the lunch for Friday, maybe I normally eat lunch for, like, let's say 500. I'll say, you know what, I'll sacrifice lunch for Thursday and Friday just for me to be able to chat. Yes, or like the weekend. Yeah. So as in, like, coming up to this point, it was all about sacrifice. And at some point, hata unaweza kukosana na bibi anaweza shanga, kwani umse he caught. Yeah, but like for somebody like me, that court, as in, I hold it so close dear to my heart. Yeah.
I think the question I can pose to Kevin is like, man, you being so young, why did you think it was that important for you? You know, you're just coming up, unaenda Equity, unacheza Equity after all. Hiyo koti ya Langata ikusaidii, so unaenda Equity. Why did you think it was so important? Yet you're a young cat, you know, just starting out. Why did you feel it was important for you to be even part of the journey?
Okay, the main turning point in my decision to support the court, vile Jigi amesema kulikuwa na scratcho hapo, and I remember very well we had invited some guys to come over. Mmoja alikuwa hii age ya kina Jigi, for the engine to start, the diesel has to really run. So he warmed up very well, and then on the first jump ball there was a crack between the rim, and it was big. Jigi and Sok can testify. He happened to land between the crack, and that's how he got an ACL, Yamagoti, and he had to leave the court no less than a minute. So I got flashbacks of myself on the 2019 finals when we were playing Ulinzi. Actually, it was the only time I've ever gotten to the finals after, I don't know, 4 years of disappointments. And then I wasn't able to play because my leg gave out too. So I was lucky enough I had work insurance, but I wouldn't want somebody else to be on the court and then you get injured. You don't have insurance, you don't have anything. And then at once changia rambe. I see it most of the times in KBF. You tell guys take insurance, but we take it for granted until you're in the situation. So watu KBF kuumia inakuanga tusaidie, and when you check at the most things that cause injuries, for one, it's a bad flow. We've played on really bad surfaces, upper hill, shauri moyo, maji kinyesha, udribble, uslip, unaweza kumeenda. Our court was among the worst then. But you can be amazed what humans can do when they come up together, because I remember I was in charge of the fans, kuchangia court, and I was called aside by somebody on the court, and he told me, you guys, I hadn't talked to Jiggy or Ruby yet. They were the ones who came up with the proposal. I was at work, so somebody called me aside and told me, you guys want to build this thing. First of all, you have to set standards to get a collection of money. And I asked him, what do you mean by standard? Akaniambia one thing. When you start in a contribution, the pace that you'll go with, it's what guys will follow. So ukianza unatoa so, mchanga itakuwa so 50, 20 bob, 30 bob, unaona. Ukianza unatoa so 5, hivyo nini. So I think maybe I challenged the old guys, because I wouldn't say the figure I started with myself, but niko sure kaa Soki anasema Kevo anaweza toa hii amount ya kuchangisha court, itamuuma roho aseme there's no way huyu kijana mdogo amekuja saa hii hapa, he can be able to put up this. So he'll want to double the amount I have. Jiggy will have to produce 10 times what I produce, and that's how we actually ended up coming up with funds from nowhere. And then there are guys who haven't stepped on that court. Maybe miracles worked in our favor, or I don't know. Somebody like Bosire for Ulinzi, he sent me cash, and maybe he's played there twice. National team guys, when we organized the tournament, I told them, well, you guys, you're already established. Don't come and tell me you want to play a tournament that you want to win money. This for the the upcoming generation. You just come and support. I wouldn't want to talk about politics, but somebody who has been with us for a long time also donated for us a few things, and we ran the tournament. It was successful. We were able to get almost what we tulikuwa tumechanga. It was almost doubled due to the tournament, and the main attraction ilitusaidia na tournament maybe hasa uliona Griffin Kenya 1 anacheza hii tona, let me go and play. Jigi yako na mafans wake pale, tulikuwa nao KU, let me go and play. Soka aliongea na watu wake wa COP, wakakuja through. James Mwangi donated water for us, so it was, naweza sema umoja ni nguvu. Watu from far and far walikama support, and that's how we ended up. First time we rushed juu kulikuwa season ya mvua, so unaona watu akiona raba kuna hiyo excitement, wacha to scratch, and then we ended up messing, but I'm glad the corrections were made, and it looks amazing right now. Actually, I would have liked us to malize with some bleaches, na maybe hata tuweke mabati hapo tuache kunyeshewa, cause inakonga Nairobi kiwa, I think ni July or September, there's no pickup you can play. It's raining from Monday to Monday. So if you can't access an outdoor, an indoor, I mean ile mzuri kaa Kasarani, achana na Nyayo pia ni outdoor kimpango. Unaweza cheza scratcho. So maybe we need to put in more effort, like we get to fence the court, kweke bleachers, and maybe get a roof. Can be a small roof, but si lazima ikuwe kitu kubwa. And then we'll say our work is done. Yeah.
Whenever you're doing a project and you're saying, I have this amount, can you help me? I think the conversation is very different than sina kitu, kuja munisaidie kujenga court. You know, like I think, and that's where I applaud you guys for, because you guys already started it. You know, you're not coming to people saying, mtu akuuliza uko na ngapi, unasema niko na zero. Atushachanga hii, lakini sasa tunataka this is the amount we target. So I think that's the key. It's like you guys have to put in something for someone else to come and help. You have to put in something. But the big question I would like to ask, and maybe Kevin can answer this, is how did you guys really trust you na do? Waja story ya chama za Kenya nini kwanza amongst vijana. Our moms can do it. Our parents wakuna hizi chama, hata waandikia ya rangi, hata kunaga ni wewe ulitoa wewe au kutoa, hakuna timambo ya accounts, and they trust each other and it works. But when it comes to mavijana, like younger people, it does not work. How did you manage to make that work, and what were the things you had in place for people really to trust you? That unajua kitu hii dosi ati Kevo ameenda Mombasa nayo, ama Kevo akibai njumu, ile pesa yetu siku hizi wacheki vile Kevo na bai tu njumu.
Well, I'll say there's always noise about money wherever you go. Ikwe corporate, social gatherings, ama family. It's normal day things. One thing, and these guys can justify, mukuanga kichwa ngumu sometimes. So to get to me, it really takes a lot. Uwezi tu kuja ni push and I get out of the way. That's one thing about me, and I know myself. About the money, it's not even really trusted to me. The money is trusted to 3 signatories. One is myself, another one is Sok, and we have Gaia. So I'm an IT, and my work at Equity Bank is mostly to get the customers to apply technology in their daily business, mambo ya biashara kawaida. So among that is the idea that I gave to the court. We have solutions for a pay bill, which is easy. Just send. It takes all the mobile payment solution, Airtel Money, PayPal, M-Pesa, hata cash unaweza deposit. So that's the idea I gave to them. Kambia, you can open this account, and we have 3 signatories. Even me myself, I don't trust myself with that money. That's why it's closed, and it can be accessed by only all the three of us, we have to be present to remove the money. And that pia imekuwa challenge because I travel for work, maybe Sock is not available, Guy is not available. So you find that tuna get hindrance here and there, but all through we manage. So actually, the amount is in three signatories, not me alone.
Yeah, because I think that's one of the things that you also mentioned, like insurance and all that, but that's a different conversation for another day. But so, what were the biggest challenges as you have traveled this journey? What were some of the biggest challenges you guys came across, and how are you able to overcome those challenges?
I think convincing guys to be able to produce funds is a big challenge. As in, anything involved with money is usually a big challenge. Then probably, not in a bad way, but in some projects that you'll always get, like, there are some guys who will always want to have a hand in the project. And JG may be able to come up with his idea, Kevo will come with his idea, PK can come with the idea, but at the end of the day, too many cooks spoil the soup. So you get, like, at times you could be able to get challenges in terms of ideas on how we want the court, on how it's supposed to be done. But we get that it was kind of hindering the contractor in terms of what he had pictured, as in, like, the thing that he wanted to set. But you get, like, there's some other guys who also have ideas on how they want the court to be done. I think probably the rest can be able to loop in.
Maybe I think the challenges are normal and expected in any project. Give me something that doesn't have challenges. Everything has challenges. I think for me, I don't think we are there yet. There's still a lot more. What we did when I heard about the concept from this guy and how he's actually trying to make the cost of the courts a bit more manageable, I shared this with some of my friends. Yeah, I called Barry and talked to him about Jerry. I called Mato and talked to him about Umo. I called Mose and talked to him about Kayole, and on and on and on. So whoever picks it up is fine. If it's manageable, yes. If you guys can be able to mobilize people to look at it in terms of raising costs, yes. I don't think we are done. I think we need to look at it in a bigger picture. Yeah. I think, I'm sorry to say, at the end of the day, we look at the performance, and I'm sure guys play their best. Yeah, guys do the best that they can. But we should be better. In my opinion, we should really be better at. We should be better in the way we display our game, and it shows. It shows. I think we should get more kids involved in basketball. I think this is a sport that we have years and years of experience, and now we're being taken over. Other countries are doing things that we can do, and it starts with a simple thing, as you said, Kip. Adopt a court, make a court favorable for somebody to come and play. That's it. Na stima imepotea.
Oh, another thing that I wanted to add was, the way our society, the way we live in right now, the county government will always come in, as in, and disrupt anything that you do, whether be it's something that it's not permanent, or if it's just something that, as in, even right now, if you want to wash your car and you partner now to Nairobi City Council, and they find you using the water, they'll ask you for the license for you doing that. So there was a period whereby the Nairobi County council could be able to come in and can even harass the guys who are doing the work at the site. So the good thing is that the contractor had like he has some connections and he knows I think it's the MCA for like that ward, and he was able to have a talk with him and tell him like, hey, your guys are harassing my people. Is it possible that you can be able to tell them to kind of keep away and all that? So one thing, the county government will always come in and they can even harass you, as in if you don't know your rights, they'll tell you like, you know what, you need a license for you to be able to put up this. Even just kumwaga sand, they'll tell you you will need a license for that. So we could be able to get pressures coming from left, right, and center. Yeah. Even the county government, which you expect that there'll be guys who will be able to come in handy, but au pia wanatafuta ile kitu wanaweza kulia, because they'll be like, if these guys are able to do this, then it means that they have money. Yeah.
You're
Kings,
You're
you're
on
muted.
mute. OPK, you're on mute.
I was saying, a friend of mine posed this question: have we ever tried to run these clubs or projects as businesses? It's human nature to expect return on investment. And I think that's one thing Kenya, as a country, we have not really taken advantage of sports business. You know, if you go to other countries, they have clubs, there's affiliation fee, you pay membership fee. That's how they raise their money, and then they invest their money. And so what's the way forward for you guys? Like, how do you keep this going? What's your plan? Like, do you have any plan? Do you have any, like, are you guys registered now as a community-based organization? What's the way forward for you guys as we move forward?
I think the court is a community center. So I've seen the question when you pose invite clubs as a business to get investment. I think you aren't looking for investing business-wise. We are looking to have a community center where the community and the Langata guys can, kuna wale wa lose weight, kuna wale wa train ligi kama mimi, kuna wale wa train the young kids to come up and be responsible men of the future. So it's a community court for guys to develop. We've tried the idea of inviting clubs to come and train. Let me say, I take it as a Thunder home court. The problem is Thunder will want to train Monday to Friday at 5 to 7 prime hours.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I'm coming from work. I need to lose weight from 5 to 7 before I go home to my wife. And then there is me who is in equity. I want to train the days we are not training from 5 to 7. And I'll also need the court. So it's a challenge which you can't overcome. You see.
Yes.
So the best solution was we need to maintain the court. Ukikuja tembea na mbao.
Hey, yes.
Yes, acha kwa court. And then there is guys kina Jiji wako na standards zao na kina Sok, they have to remove 1,000 per month waeke kwa account. And then there is an initiative for 200 also for a month kulipa stima kwa wale wanacheza usiku and all that. But the idea of hiring out to a club, it's a good one, but the problem is in Kenya, everyone will want to train in the evening hours.
5 to 7.
Being a community center, it's kind of hard to get a club to register there, and unless you can get a club that trains in the morning. And Kenya currently, I think maybe KP alone can manage that. I don't think there's anyone else.
But actually, I think what Musinde done, there's something I've picked from that. You see, the return on investment has to be able to attract viewers, right? So there's a business angle to it. I see what the way he's looking at it. But then here's the thing: are the people, what are the viewers in Kenya? Are people going to pay to watch? I think this is a question that we have to go through. And it also needs some substantial investment, yeah, to be able to put a club. Let's go back to the days. NSSF. Let's go back to NSSF days, right? Team that has been put together proper, yeah. Something like that would be happening now, yeah. Tukuwe na hizo kama 4 ama 5, yeah. Definitely people will watch, right? People will watch and people will actually pay. And if they're able to, now let's dream a little bit. Kukuwe na team kama hizo, kuna moja iko Kisumu, kuna moja iko sijui wapi, and they're well stocked. It's semi-professional, you know, and they're being paid and people are actually well. And you have home court games. Yeah, the business component comes in, people can be able to pay. I think there's a business angle in it. The question is, are we willing to invest in something like that? Sasa tunacheza hii weekend ni watch game ya Equity na KPA. To be very honest, those were really good games. Really good games. Unaona? From a business standpoint, yes, some I think 1 or 2 of the clubs should have made something substantial out of it. Imeenda hivyo. Okay, let's wait for the next one. So there is a business angle to it, yeah. Who's going to take that first step? Who's going to put in the investment to put in to see those returns come in? And the business acumen. It's actually, ukiangalia kutoka business side, yeah, it works. In the US, Kings, you can tell us. There's business in it. You know, there's millions of dollars. Who's going to go through it? I mean, it's a challenge back. I don't think we are sijika mtu atakuja tu like pesa yake hapo hoping to get his returns back. My own opinion.
Chege here, Lamek. He runs a community-based organization too, also in Thika, and he's asking what are some of the mitigations you guys had in place, you know, to avoid the common pitfalls of executing a plan. You know, procrastination. You know, we are not on the same page. Decision making. Do you want blue? Do you want green? You know, all that is a challenge as a part of the organization. You know, to get the dream going. Did you get like how are decisions made? Was it tukawa tatu ama Kevin ndio iko close to the program then I make decisions ama Kevin lazima apigie Jiggy ongea na Soki, then Soki wameki na Jiggy kwa side wa move on Kevin, like, so how did you guys make decisions on anything that affected the program and the project?
No, like, so the thing that we decided to do, we decided to come up with a committee. I was the chairman, Kevo was the treasurer. I can't really remember Jiggy's role, but yeah, it was something like a 10-man committee. No, at first it started as a 6-man committee, then it expanded to a 10-man committee, like any organization. At the end of the day, it will be all about majority, the vote of the majority. So there are some decisions that we could be able to come about, and at times you could not, like, somebody will be able to feel like kind of left out because his point wasn't valid. But you know, at some point, lazima tu endele mbele. So we had a committee, and the committee had their rules, like in terms of, yes, they like their funds in their account. How can we be able to access those funds? We need to come up with a budget. So the budget needs to be something that is really, as in, reasonable. You cannot come up with a budget, somebody, we need this and this, and we expect like the signatories are gonna come and whatever. So coming up with a committee was one of the best things that we ever did. And it was a mixture of the old guys and a few young guys. But like right now, us as the kind of old guys, we want to give the responsibility to the young guys to be able to take it up from there, because now the basketball court is their bread and butter. You're on mute.
It's interesting to see how you guys have been able to mesh the old school and the younger generation. You know, that's been one of the toughest things. Like in any kina court in English, jamaa sema wazee watuambia nini? How have you managed that? Kevin, this is a question for Kevin. How have you guys managed
The
Kiganya.
separation is outside. Kwa court tunawafunga tu na tunaenda home. It's very simple.
Kwa court
There's no
mnawanyorosha tu.
problem. Nawanyorosha tu alafu tunaenda home.
Kevin, that's a question for you, man. How do you able to, like even my sons, when I try to tell them my time, they just, you can just see their eyes and like, our time. Nini time yetu.
Hata me, I'm always like that. I always feel like, why are you telling me your time is here and I don't even see your highlights on YouTube?
Yeah.
But there is always, as much as we play on the basketball court, outside the basketball court, there have to be respect, that this is your big brother or this is your father or maybe your uncle. So when you're in need, you'll actually turn to them. There's no one else you'll go to. Because like me, when I was injured, all my siblings walk away. The nearest I have is in Malindi. So you'll be surprised it was Gaia who was almost checking up on me daily, and the basketball guys around Langata. Jiggy, we were with him too when I was injured, spent so much time and talking about life. So you have to realize that there is more to life than basketball. When we leave the court, when you come on the court, you are a competitor. Akikuja kugonge kumbo, umrudishie ngumi ya mapua, itoke iende huko. Once you leave the court, and then there has to be respect, because we are not in the same page, and even us as the young guys, you have to respect each other. You learn from each other. The guy we have learned most from is almost our age. Mshemi, I don't know if you know him. Is the guy mostly coaching guys on the court, drills to improve, do this, do that. So if you want to learn, first of all, you have to accept that you have to be trained to get better. And also in life, if you want to prosper, you have to accept that you have to respect the person who is guiding you to achieve something. So I think that's the most I tell guys on my age group, because sometimes I go there and you see you can trash talk. I normally see kids trash talk older guys, and I tell them it's okay to trash talk on the court, but at the back of my mind, remember this person is like your father. So you have to know there are limits to something. There's something I can tell somebody my age group, but there are other things I cannot tell Sok or Jiggy or maybe Guy or somebody else. But there are some things I can tell age group wetu like akina Soja or Campo, because with the same age group they understand where we come. So with me, it's all about respect. We're willing to be guided and accept that you're not perfect. Mzee anaweza kuwa 50 years old. His legs cannot carry him anymore to play basketball at the peak the way you are playing, but there are some things he knows. There's something he knows that he can guide knowledge to you, and you can pick it up, the knowledge from them, and you can implement it, and you can go far.
Yeah, but again, it's a testament. If someone looks at your path, right, like you just came up and shot straight all the way up, again, it's the values and how you conduct your business and how you take yourself as a person. The things you might just mention, those are the keys to success. If you don't have those, maybe you can't listen, you can't be coached. It's going to be a hard and tough road, and I say those are the keys, ingredients to success. And again, that's a testimony of how well you're doing for yourself, man. And kudos to you for everything you've been able to achieve in a short, 2007. Now you one of the best players, man, in Kenya, and playing, got a job through basketball. And I think I've decided to see the positive side of basketball. I think everybody has a choice. Everybody has a choice. You can take the positive side of basketball, or you can take the negative side of basketball, get involved on all the politics of basketball and all that. But so how do you guys manage to stay on the other side of politics of basketball? Because I know that's the biggest one. That's the biggest one. How did you guys manage to just be on the other side and focus even when people are talking? You guys stayed iko tutaijenga hata kama jamaa anasema miaka mbili imeenda jamaa hajafanya kitu. How did you shut that noise out?
I don't know, let me say. Just like in the game, fans wataongea. They're not in the game. They don't know what's happening in the game. Hawajui ile kumbo ama vile umepigwa mapua by Kevo. They don't know. Yeah, so the noise is there. There are people who used to come and play. They never contributed, right? But they still came to play. But what you don't realize is you still need that person. Yeah, you still need that person. So now they're coming to play when the court has been redone. Yeah, you still need that person. You don't know what the impact is. You can block off the noise. I think a lot of the noise we concentrated on was the committee noise. Unaona? Yani si wenyewe. Kuna ideas zilikuwa zinakuja, what do we do next? There's a disagreement. There's a discussion whether I lost this argument, the backboards versus the lights. So there's some people who want to come play at night. Wanasema, okay, wewe utaleta, lakini hatutacheza usiku. Yeah, them the priority is the lights.
Right.
But you have to agree to lose this discussion.
You lose your backboard. You lose your backboard.
Aki nimelose your backboard kicks. Watu
I'll
wanataka
support
lights
you
ndio
now,
wacheze usiku.
but I don't know if my
Please, bro.
vote counts.
Please. I argued this thing for almost a year. I'm saying the next priority is the backboard. Watu wanasema, hii backboard iko tu sawa, rim inatushana hivi iko tu sawa. Tuweke tu lights. And that's what is winning the day. But still, it's all healthy as long as it's moving forward. Yeah. Negative energy, me personally. Now, maybe to even answer your previous question, how do we keep on going? You see, we're all focused on the same goal. So how do we get there? As long as you realize that you're actually moving forward, it's good disagreement. It's not bad disagreement. This is one thing people don't realize. As long as you're not moving backwards, we'll disagree, but you'll make it up. Yeah, it's not life-threatening. You'll figure it out. So you block it off. Mnaangalia the positive. Like personally, my plus of making this quarter, like now we have a team. We have two teams. We have a boys team and a girls team. Yeah, the Warriors are playing in the league, in the CL League. The girls team, I'm merging the team ya Langata and like kuna team ingine. We're trying to bring them together so that they keep the focus going. So for me, the court is vital to be tip-top shape, because nataka I want this program to keep going. You see, that's my drive. But everybody has their own drives. Kevo was using the court for rehab at that time.
Yes.
That's his drive.
Yes.
So it's still a positive. Unaona, see what Sok alikuwa amenona, he uses the court. He's trying to lose weight. Okay, ole Sok. But guys would come in. Moge would come back and figure out that, you know what, there are guys playing here. Yeah. Okay, Moge needs to pound the ball a little bit to end it. You know. And I'm very happy with the turn up of some of the national team players. I was talking with Taylor, and Taylor was saying, "Look, hey, I've seen this. When next time I'm in Nikomtani, yeah, let's talk. I'll make an appearance." This is the kind of positive movement. And this
is huge.
This kind of podcast.
Again, it's unfortunate that we even didn't highlight that at that particular time, because I think that's part of the national team is doing things like that, is making a court like you guys have known. Like, it's unfortunate we didn't have enough stories of that, and we don't even understand what some of the works the national team was doing, or we sit here and we're like, we can go back.
They were there.
No, I'm just saying, but
Griff trained my kids.
Yeah,
Griff trained the kids. Gaia trained the kids. Griff was training. Was rehabbing Kevo. Nani came. What's this guy called? Ujamanyo, I don't know. I forget his name.
Gosire,
But they were there.
Goro,
Guys were there. He's a scratcher.
Yeah.
Kelele yote.
I'm just saying
Gosire.
it's unfortunate we didn't highlight, we didn't talk about it enough. Maybe we make noise about
No,
it. and
it was
people will
good.
see the cut.
And this is the kind of thing that the momentum.
Builder. Amekatia umeme. Yeah, but we're coming back to the top of the hour, just winding down. So if someone else was to try to get the same, Adi? I'm freeze. But anyways,
okay.
So what advice can you give throughout your experience to another group of people who are trying to do the same thing in their neighborhood? What would you tell them? What's the best advice would you give them?
Yeah, it's all about synergy, nothing else. Synergy. And when people come together, they can be able to achieve more. And you had mentioned about some of the difficulties that we encountered on the way. There's something that I hadn't mentioned, but there was somebody who wanted to ride on our success, and he went ahead and posted it on his Facebook page, which is like he is an admin, Bible Kenya. And at that time, Kevin, then there's another guy called Ben, and myself, we are working on a document like whereby we can be able to approach corporates and reach out for help in terms of like, this is what you have done, this is where we want to get through. But now when a corporate goes and sees the post that has been done by this guy on his Facebook page saying that I have done this, blah, 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 and truth be told, he didn't even contribute a shilling. At that time, I can remember we almost lost our cool. Kevin, even Jiggy was calling me and asking me, who's the admin of this page and all that. And I even called this guy to pull down that post because it was kind of blocking us from where we wanted to reach. But like all in all, when guys do come together, they can be able to achieve more than what they can expect. Yeah. You're on mute.
I'm muting you guys. To Kevin, what kind of advice would you give to someone a group of people, or just anybody in the community who's trying to, adopt a cult in their neighborhood and do the same thing you guys have done, or just try to make it uplift, anything?
First of all, start somewhere. Don't just the way Giga said, Konai, and then build from there. Actually, the court rehab process started way in 2012. Even nikihamia Langata ilikuwa ishaanza, but it was never going anywhere. So it gained momentum. I think it's Jiggy first who changed the boards to the current one that they are there, because the first boards we had hata mvua ilikuwa imechipua. They weren't good boards. So from there, we started with the idea if the boards can be changed, something else can be done. You'll be surprised the amount of guys who have wamesaidia, like the ones Najaini Mwaka Azimio and the others.
Ni mwaka wa Azimio.
I think if this project was running right now,
yes,
tungekuwa tushaweka mabati na kila kitu kishamalizwa, but maybe we started in the wrong year. So all those guys have been approached. Adi Mike Sonko, everyone.
Sijilasi nasikia hata kusimama huko kwenyu.
Huyo. So
hey PK, usiwetagamia politicians.
They'll do nothing.
Yeah.
They'll just talk, and then when something vile waliona sasa it's been done, it's when you are seeing somebody anatuma mabati, mwingine anatuma kokoto, mwingine anatuma something. So the most problem with Kenyans is that let me say, as basketballers, we wait for somebody, we approach somebody and we tell them, so kuja tujengee court ama tufanyie hivi. We don't start the initiative ourselves.
Yes.
So the best advice I'll give to guys is they start the initiative themselves, wafike mahali, and then they go and approach guys and say, this is the match we've done, we need much help. It's way easier than that, because even as we have received, I'll be frank to say it, we have received support from politicians, the current MP, an aspirant there, and some other guys that have chipped in one or two things as a mess idea. So that's it.
I think big question has been asked. Have you guys documented your journey, like from the day you started building your court, so you can make like a documentary series or something like that, monetize what you guys have done? And this is Lamek Chege asking again.
I don't think it's been documented. This is the documentation. Kicks the one who's doing the documentation right now. I don't think
we'll do better.
Have it in mind, but
yeah, we'll write a story, man.
Tuesday.
I hope we can make it happen this Tuesday, man. Soki, we can meet this writer and we can put this story, man. We need to document more and have more pictures of the court before and after, and share it. I think it's a great story. It's a huge success story for us that we need to share, and we need people to know about it, so that hata mtu mwingine kama ni mtu mwingine pia kumtaani na anachikoti yao pia ni mbaya, anasema kama jamaa wale Langata wametengeneza yao, pia si tutaunda yetu tu pia tuweke competition. So we're gonna try and write stories about it, man.
Let's do more.
Yeah. But man, I appreciate you. What's up?
Imagine 10 kids who play with your heart coming from Kenya. Imagine that.
Man, I'm telling you, hey, I tell people my story is not different from anybody else in Kenya, man. I was not the best talented player. I think I worked hard. I worked hard, and I believed in something that nobody else saw, call it craziness, but it's just the same thing, like Kevin has mabati, indoor court. Think about it. It can be the first indoor court ya mtaani, the first indoor court mtaani. You might not be surprised that ati mabati, mko na roof ya ukweli. So, when you dream about things and you're really passionate about them, then things do happen for you, especially when your heart is in the right place. When kila mtu anajua unafanya hii kitu for the right reasons, and like you guys are doing for the right reasons. Sasa tunataka mama MCA, sasa tunataka kwa MP.
Tunataka Kitale, my friend.
Ati?
Tunataka Kitale, boss.
Anasoma Kitale.
Tunataka Kitale, my friend. Mimi siyasema nasema hizo Kitale.
Hey, but I give it to Kevin, man. He's a young dude, man, who's very driven. I give it to him, man. He's for a young man, coming up and where he is. That's kudos to you, man. It's kudos. It's hard to find young kids who are driven like that, So, but I appreciate everybody taking your time, man. To yes, sir.
So, Soka akisha picture alisahau kitu moja. Picha pay bill tungeweka hapa mafanso tumembaumbao hivi.
Mazenge tumeweka picha pay bill.
No, he's right.
Tungeshasha hapa picha ya pay bill.
Alisahau kutoa picha pay bill, the most important of all. Baada ya code.
Ni pay bill. Pay bill.
Mafanso tumembaumbao pale. Sasa wanalia hawana lights za kucheza usiku, wakapasha pata pesa kuweka lights hapo. Entrepreneur
kabla jamaa waende west wala
but niko so sure regardless of ule mtu amecheki like this whatever, because I'm even getting some, like my phone is really buzzing. I know one of my friends will be able to reach out to one of his as like his buddies aseme niaje acha hii Sunday tuende scratch up pale vio Langata tuone vile itakuwa, and niko so sure like it's just gonna bring guys together. Like guys are gonna come to Langata and experience basketball in Langata in a different level.
Oh, no doubt. We're gonna do something. I'm gonna come out there and run a camp for you guys, man.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
I like what you guys are doing. So, April, God willing, we'll be on the ground. So, hope tour will be back. So, hopefully, COVID, knock on wood, COVID iende tu hivyo vile imeenda ikiishiaga. So, yeah, we can make it happen, man. We can make it happen.
Yep.
And then again, we say we have a program, and I talked to Jiggy before the show. So 2 years back, a friend of mine, really, he's a young guy, man. His name is Neto. He's a friend of mine. He reached out to me. He's like, Peter, how you? We should start this little competition about. It's called Adopt a Court. So basically, his idea is people build their courts in their neighborhoods, and then every, let's say, 4 months, we come together and we say, court gani kwa maendeleo zaidi. So the court with the biggest development, or the court that people vote for as having the best thing, then we can do camps, come with help with uniforms, basketballs, the same thing we do, but now at a club level, just to help people start building their own courts. So we'll see how that goes. There's 2 courts I think have been sent. There's another one, I think, Moja, and then yours, Kayole. So we'll see how everything plays off, and we'll document the journeys of those 3 courts, and we'll see how that goes, man.
Yep, appreciate it.
Yeah. But man, thank you guys for taking your time, man. As this is winding down, I appreciate everybody for coming on board. Thank you. Have a good night, man.
Easy, guys. Kevo tukutane kote. Oh, he left.
There we've had it. These guys in Langata have been doing, the court is called Down Court. They've been doing amazing things. They've really worked on their court, and it's amazing. You see the before and after pictures. It's really, I'm going to share with you one more time before I leave. That's the before court. That's how it looked like before they started their journey. And right now, this is where they are. We need to put some bleachers up there. We need to put some backboards, shot clock, and all that. So, man, you can reach out to them. We'll be sharing all the information soon on all social media. So, whatever you can do to help out, please do that. That's my time. Appreciate everybody for joining in. Stay blessed.